Here's why Jamal Hill versus Khalil Rountree is the most fraudulent fight in the UFC. And by fraudulent, I mean like how these guys got to the top. Because I'm gonna go over that today's video, but these the way these guys got to the top and who they've beat, the win streaks and just all sorts is really weird, you know. And I just want to go over why I don't think these fighters are as good as people say they are, and I kind of don't think they should be where they are. So, starting off with Khalil Rountree, I mean, beats people like the Oh Money Man. I mean, the kicks, the absolute big combinations against the fence, man. The body kicks, the soccer kicks, man. If he was in Pride, man, he would be a champion, you know. Like, Khalil Rountree in Pride, hey, mythical fighter, alright. Them soccer kicks, them grounded knees, hey, nobody beats him. But if we're being for real, he's 9-6-1 in the UFC. Like, damn, and you might be like, oh, but he's fought good opponents. Oh, he hasn't. He hasn't. He's lost to Andre Sanchez in his in like the Ultimate Fighter. 5-5. He went 5-5 in the UFC and got cut. He lost to Tyson Pedro by first round rear naked choke. And I get all these were before, moved to Thailand and he started really improving his game, but still, there's still losses on his record. He got KO'd by Walker in the first, TKO'd by Ion Kualaba in the first, lost a match in Prachnio by decision, and before that fight, Prachnio was on a 3-fight losing streak, all by first round knockout. And I get a lot of people do think Khalil won that fight, but still, it was still a pretty 50-50 fight. Could go either way, but still. And he's had some good wins in there against Gokhan Saki, Daniel Jolly, whoever that guy is. Paul Craig, Eric Anders. I mean, they're like, you know what I mean? They're kind of bottom of the bottom. You know what I mean? Like Paul Craig. I get Paul Craig's bet Jamal Hill is bet fucking Ankalaev, but let's be honest, that's a bit fluky in it if we're being for real. And then after like some wins and losses going kind of 50-50, he did go on his streak, that nasty leg kick TK over Bakauskas, Carl Robertson, bet him like he owed money. And then here, robbed Justin Gate Jacoby. He absolutely robbed Justin Gate Jacoby. Look at them scorecards, man. That was a robbery. I don't care what anybody says. Jacoby is underrated, to be honest, and he should have won that fight. And then he KO'd Dorcas, like, come on, welcome to the club. And then KO'd an old washed Smith, which was it wasn't close, but it kind of was, leading into that third round. But like, his best win's an old washed Anthony Smith. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, you know what I mean? Khalil doesn't really have any good wins. And then he got a lucky title shot against Alex Pereira. And then, yeah, he might have had like one good round, maybe two, but like, oh, but apart from that, Alex just absolutely smashed him, which fair enough. Alex during that time was an absolute beast, an absolute demon, but he's just, he's not bet anyone good, man. This is why I think this is such a fraudulent matchup, and this is what makes it so hard, I think, to pick this fight as well. You know what I mean? Like, I still can't believe that Jacoby robbery to this day, man. Like, I'm glad people actually started to talk about it as well, because that was bad, man. But yeah, like, Khalil's not really bet anyone good. How is he here? I don't know, apart from a lucky title shot against Alex. If it weren't for that, and losing, and making it a bit of a war, well, if he didn't get absolutely smashed and beat up, it wouldn't be what it was. You know what I mean? If you think about it, if he didn't have a close first round and second round, well, he won the first, right, and maybe won the second as well. But if it weren't for that, he wouldn't be here. Let's be for real, right? But some good things about Khalil Rountree, though. He is very powerful and strong. I mean, look at the guy. You know what I mean? He's absolutely massive. He is huge. And I mean, compared to Jamal Hill, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you showed two non-MMA fans, Jamal Hill and Khalil Rountree, 99.99% of people are picking Khalil Rountree to absolutely smash him. Do you get what I mean? And I know obviously looks don't matter, physiques don't necessarily matter. They kind of do actually, but in these type of matchups they kind of don't. But most people are going to end up picking Khalil Rountree. Do you get what I mean? But yeah, he is very powerful and strong, and does have a Muay Thai style, which I think is actually really good in this matchup. Because, like I'm saying here, the leg kicks are huge in this fight, along with the clinch as well. I think he's going to have an advantage in the clinch because of the Muay Thai style, and especially the leg kicks. Jamal Hill's footwork is so bad. These leg kicks are going to be the way to win this fight for Khalil Rountree, and I truly believe that. I think there could maybe even be a leg kick TKO, but I think the way Khalil is going to win this fight, if he wins this fight, is by the leg kicks, just destroying his legs throughout these rounds. And just like I said here, Hill is never in great shape as well. So on about the kicks, work that body with the knees and the in the clinch and the kicks and the body kicks. You need these body kicks. Even if Jamal blocks him, that's going to hurt his hands. That's going to hurt his arms. That's going to gas his arms out. It's gonna hurt him. That's not gonna make his arms as punches as fast as and as powerful. But yeah, Hill is never in great shape, man. He's always a bit chubby, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, obviously you don't know, but myself, I'm not like, you know, I'm not looking like Cleo myself, so I can't really say much. But he's never in great shape for a fighter. He always looks a bit flabby. Always looks like he has a bit of fat on him. You know what I mean? Don't like he works out too much. But so I think working the body in this fight as well is huge for Khalil. Um, the leg kicks and the body work. I think this is what will win Khalil Rountree this fight if he wants to win. But I do think he needs to finish Hill early or at least win the first 3 rounds though. Um, because Khalil has shown to gas out. I mean, look at the Alex fight, you know what I mean? Alex should eventually war on him and he couldn't handle it anymore. And I think Hill can do the exact same too, which we will get into. But he needs to finish Hill in the first 3 rounds, or at least win the first 3 rounds, or I think this is not good for Khalil. Or I think Jamal could find a finish. I mean, I think they could both find a finish early anyway, because they both are very hard hitters. But I could like just look at Khalil. That's the thing. Like it's weird because people with Jamal Hill's type of shape, I swear they always have like weird like cardio. Like I'm not saying like weirdly good cardio, but they always somehow have good cardio, even though they don't seem like they should. Do you get what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. If you know, like Anthony Hernandez, for example. But yeah, he needs to finish Hill early. Because Jamal Hill does have great cardio. We'll also get into that as well, like I said. But even if he wins like the first two and then Jamal wins a third one, then fourth and fifth rounds, I just probably don't see Khalil winning unless the leg kicks get way too much for Jamal. But I think even if they get too much for Jamal, I think if they affect him that much, I think Khalil will end up getting the finish. You know what I mean? So I think if he does get into the fourth and the fifth round, either Jamal's legs are going to be that badly hurt he can't really do much, or maybe Khalil's just going to be that gassed. But yeah, but I do think he is still durable as well because he did take a lot of punishment against Alex. He did take a lot of punishment for him to finally go down. Because even though he does get finished, like I've mentioned before, he does seem durable and it does seem like he can take punishment. But he is finishable though, and I can see Jamal also finishing him. But moving on to Jamal Hill, he does have better wins. Oh, during the ride to the top than Khalil. He has wins over Johnny Walker, even though he's Johnny No Chin Walker, Thiago Santos, even though he's an older, more washed Thiago Santos, and Glover Teixeira for the title, the vacant title after Yuri bet him. But that's what I mean. It was Glover Teixeira after losing a war. Losing an absolute war, probably one of the, if not the greatest fight of all time, where he took a crazy amount of damage at 42 years old. Like, and I'm pretty sure he might have been 43 going into that fight. I'm not sure exactly how old he was going into the Jamal fight, but just after all that damage he took in that Yuri fight with Glover, um, I remember watching it, and I remember the like, wow, Hill's getting a shot. What, this is kind of crazy. Um, but even though it was crazy getting a title shot, a lot of people were still picking Jamal in that fight just because the amount of damage Teixeira took in that fight, and he's 42. You know what I mean? I get he still won the title old over Jan Blachowicz, but 42 after taking all the damage he took in his career. You know what I mean? Like, the kind of, if he wins, like, they all have asterisks, or however you say it, you know what I mean? And like, apart from that OSP, Jimmy Crute, who's not won his last 5 fights, he not got a win in his last 5 fights, like, you know what I mean? And obviously, he's known for his bad footwork. You watch Jamal fight, wow, that guy has bad footwork, and it seems kind of slow as well. Like, it seems kind of like slow twitch muscle. If you get what I mean, like, maybe I could be wrong, but it's just his technique and the way he moves and the way he throws his punches is just really not great in my opinion. It's really not great. I think that is going to cause him trouble in this fight. Um, and apart from that, I got smoked by Alex. And even though he got smoked by Alex in the first round, and Khalil made it to the fourth, and it was kind of close. If you do MMA math, then Khalil smokes him, right? But obviously we know MMA math don't work like that. So even though he did get smoked by Alex, this is still an intriguing matchup. But he did have this close fight with you as well. Obviously, I have it up him getting him getting TKO'd by Yuri, but this was a close fight. I love Yuri Prochazka. He's probably one of my, if not my favourite fighter. I was so happy Yuri won this fight. Being honest, I don't really like I don't really like Jamal Hill. I don't really like Khalil too much either. But he's in a cult, weird stuff. But we're not gonna get into that. Maybe that's a video for another day. But he did have that close fight with Yuri. He did win that second round, and he did hurt Yuri to the body with that straight right hand. Like, this was a close fight, and people forget that. Like, I am going to give him his credit. It does show he can hang to the top. Even though I'm saying he's fraudulent, like, he didn't really have any too great wins. Like, there's some names like Johnny Walker, Thiago Santos, Glover Teixeira, they all have asterisks, like I said, you know what I mean? So even doesn't have the greatest wins moving up to the top, and even though he did get finished by Yuri, it was close, so it does show he can still hang at the top like Khalil in the Alex fight, even though he kind of did get smashed the whole time, if we're being for real, right? But Andy's on a 2 fight losing streak, which I don't think is good for Jamal. I think like his mindset, there's pressure. There is pressure here. Like, if he goes on a 3 fight losing streak now, that is bad for Hill. Like, most fans don't already like him. So the fact that he's now on a 3 fight losing streak, and if he loses this fight, it's probably going to be by a finish as well. So that's 3 finishes in a row. That's rough for Jamal, you know. And all that pressure, that could be tough, and that could be a mental advantage Khalil has over Hill, even though Khalil's not fought in ages since that fight. He took a lot of damage in that Alex fight. I mean, he literally has scars still on his face to this day from that fight, which Jamal could open up. He could like open up one of these scars on Khalil's nose, you know what I mean? Which could wear on Khalil into the later rounds, right? But moving on, some good stuff about Jamal though. Like I said, it was close against Yuri. It hurt him in round 2. Like, it's not even just round 2 which was close though. Like, it was just kind of close the whole time anyway, you know what I mean? During that fight, I was so worried for Yuri, because I know he can get knocked out at any time by Hill. Hill does have that great power, and he has good cardio as well. He did, even though it wasn't old Teixeira, he did 50-40 for him. Won every round, smashed him every round. He has more experience at the top, you know? Even though it might not be against the greatest opponents, also it's still more experience at the top. Even though Rountree does have more fights in the UFC, I feel like I'd still give the experience advantage to Jamal. And he does have good volume, could overwhelm Rountree. And like I say here, he needs to take Khalil into the later rounds of this one. He needs to wear on Rountree. He needs to put on that pressure, put on that pace. That is how he wins this fight. He needs to overwhelm Rountree to win this. He needs to make. I think he needs to make it ugly. I think he does need to make this fight ugly. He needs to make it Jamal's fight, and I know that sounds dumb. Like, obviously, he needs to make it his own fight, but he just needs to make it a dog fight, and I think that will wear on Khalil moving into these later rounds. He has the cardio advantage, he has that volume advantage, but since Jamal Hill doesn't have pillow hands and does have power in these earlier rounds, Khalil still needs to be cautious because Jamal has the cardio and volume advantage, but he still has that power to put you out cold in that first round. So Khalil still needs to be cautious this whole fight, even though maybe Jamal Hill's technique's not the best, his footwork's not the best. Technically wise, he is just worse than Khalil, straight up, simple. But it's not just about technique for technique. You know what I mean? Look at Yuri, for example, And that's the thing with that Yuri loss as well. Yuri's only lost to Alex in the UFC. Yuri is very great, and a lot of people are going to pick Yuri to beat Ankalaev if they ever fought, So I don't think they are necessarily bad losses. He lost to Paul Craig back in the day, but Khalil, there's not going to be grappling in this fight, I don't think. If there is, I think it'd be Jamal if anyone, but then again, he won't even shoot against Alex, so why would he shoot against Khalil? So I'm just talking dumb there, but yeah, he's had some advantages for Jamal Hill, but overall, I've got Rountree by TKO. I just think the technique Rountree has over Hill is going to be shown in this fight. I think he's going to be able to work Hill in the clinch with when them knees to the body, them elbows. I think he could cut Hill. And just the leg kicks and the footwork is honestly probably the main thing. Hill's footwork is so bad, he needs to check leg kicks in this fight. I think his legs are just going to get demolished. And I think that is going to be the downfall in this fight. I do think the leg kicks is going to be the difference maker in this fight. And I think Rountree is going to TKO him in the second or the third round. The fourth, I mean, if Khalil plays it patient, very patient, takes his time, doesn't gas himself out with the leg kicks, takes his time, I could see him getting a third, maybe fourth round TKO. But in this fight, I just see him wearing Jamal in the clinch with a body, knees to the body, kicks to the body, kicks to the legs, and I think he's just more powerful and just more stronger in general. You know what I mean? Even though Hill's taller than him and stuff, he does have that range advantage, so it is still close. Hill could just pick him apart, but this is a close fight, man. I am going Rountree by TKO. See, I'm even saying Hill there because this is what I mean by how fraudulent this is. Because these guys have had such weird paths to the top. This is why I find it so hard to pick this fight. Because, they've not both necessarily had that many, stuff to go off of the top. Like in terms of wins. Do you get what I mean? That's why this fight is so fraudulent. But yeah, I am gonna go Rountree by TKO, working them legs, and probably finding a finish up against the cage. I could see a leg kick. Could I see a leg kick TKO? I don't know. I either see a leg kick TKO or Hill's legs hurting that much, he just can't take damage at all anymore and just melts against the cage in round 3, I think. So I'm going to go Rountree by TKO. These are my predictions for this fight and why this is the most fraudulent fight in the UFC.